Hello everybody, welcome back to OTC Fish Keeper, and today I'm just going to give you guys some updates on where everything stands at this point. Done a few projects and had some circumstances, and catch you all up to date here. Most recent thing we had was the hole in the head disease that attacked the Oscar tank. Now my two biggest Oscars, they show small signs of hole in the head. The two smaller ones have none yet, and I plan on keeping it that way. The most likely culprit, according to the internet anyway, was activated charcoal. So I did have a lot of activated charcoal in my tank. So I went and got all of that out, replaced all that with just filter media. And I did a 75% water change that first day, and then I did another 75% the next day. And while I was in there, I went ahead and took out the little fake log that was down at the end here that the Jack Dempseys were hiding behind. It was kind of a bum deal to have such a nice, big, beautiful Jack Dempsey, as this guy right over here. I'll zoom in on him in a minute. And I never got to see him. Plus, they were constantly scratching themselves up going in and out of that fake log. And the little Jack Dempsey, he had no problem swimming around the tank, and the Oscars never even gave him a second look. So I know that he's just wanting to hide, just for whatever reasons. So I got them both, and now I get to see them both much nicer. Unfortunately, the green terror didn't make it. The hole in the head was too much for him, and it just, I don't know, I guess it just hit a sensitive spot or something really quickly, because in 3 days, he was gone. First day I thought he was fighting. Second day I realized it wasn't fighting. It was hole in the head disease, at least I think it was. And that day I got him out of the tank, got him away from the filter. I didn't even know at that point that carbon was the problem. I was doing research at that point. Got him out of the tank, put him in the medical tank, and left him in there, but he didn't even make it a full day after that. It just like that, just that fast. It was very, very disappointing. It was a tremendous fish, and he's actually inspired me. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get some new green terrors and raise them up. They're best to get small because the bigger ones are really expensive. So I'm going to go out and get some new green terrors and raise them up and then integrate them. I really like the personality. I like the way they interacted with the other fish. They were very, very mellow, easy getting along fish, but they also could take care of themselves, got along great with the Oscars. So that's where we sit there with that. And then the fish pond here, let me get you a new angle on that pond here. The fish pond is doing fantastic. I've taken 2 more of the goldfish from upstairs and brought them down, and they look really nice in there. I'm still going to put some substrate down there, just some rocks, nothing crazy. I'm not going to really cover the whole bottom. I'm just going to put them down there for a little bit of an effect. And at some point I might try to put some live plants in there. I'll hang some grow lights from the ceiling, and the homemade filter that I made is just doing fantastic. I'm really excited about it. It's got a little bit of dirt there in the middle, but not much to speak of. Well, there's only 2 fish in the tank right now. There's 4, but up until yesterday there was only 2. And I put the heater in the overflow here, so that way I don't have to deal with that thing in the tank. It's not such a big deal with the goldfish, but in a plastic tank, and it doesn't look as cool. I like it much better over here. And now, moving on to the silver dollars. Okay, this is the largest of the 2 silver dollars, and they had problems with their fins, particularly their tail was completely gone, and so I separated them from each other and from the other fish in the tank. And now you can see he's got definitely solid tail. He's been in there a little over 2 weeks. He's grown his tail back really nicely, looking really good. But now I've still got a dilemma, and that is, what do I do with these guys? If I put them in together with each other, they eat each other's tails. But if I don't put them in with each other, they're schooling fish. See, here's this one had grown out his tail perfectly. Was in great shape, and I put the other one in there with him, and if we can catch an angle here, you can see that there are actually bite marks out of the end of his tail, and there were some out of his dorsal fin as well. His dorsal fin was almost completely gone. His tail was completely gone. So I've gotten them all to grow back. His tail still got a couple bites from whenever I put the other guy back in the tank with him. But still, at least most of it's there. So I got a dilemma though. What do I do with these two? I can't put them together, but they're schooling fish. They need to be together. And I can't even put them in the angelfish tank because somebody in the angelfish tank was digging in. So I figured out. I'm thinking if I don't stumble across somebody who has a school already and wants to add to it, then I'll probably buy 4 or 5 more and try making a school out of them here, and hopefully as a school they don't pick on each other quite so much. And here in the Oscar tank, whenever I had to go ahead and pull the activated charcoal out of the filter, I went ahead and replaced the whole, well, cleaned out the whole filter, replaced the filter fiber and all that good stuff. And there's one of my new Oscars, and I've actually named this one. This one just seems fitting. Gonna call her Pumpkin. Got her in October, and her looks are pretty obvious. Beautiful fish. She's the one that was getting bit up by the green terror, and all of her bite marks have healed up now. Here's the other new guy. I suspect I have 3 males and a female, but I'm not sure. Oh, and here's that Jack Dempsey that I never get to see, but now I get to see him all the time. But even now, he's trying to hide underneath that rock, that tiny little hole there. Oh, and there's the baby Jack, although he's not that small. But he's out anyway. He used to mess with the green terror. Not violently, just chase him around a little bit, show him who's boss. He's also trying to hide under the rock, because they both used to hide in that hollow log. And these Oscars eventually are going to go upstairs here into my 265-gallon tank as soon as I get all the goldfish out. But as it turns out, that tank also has activated charcoal in the filter, so I'm going to have to take that out. And I'm going to do a 90 or 100% change on that tank, because when I do it, there won't be any fish left in the tank, because I'll have all the goldfish down here in the pond. So that should give us some really nice water, and I can let it heat up first. Whenever I changed 75% of the water in this tank, the temperature dropped. The temperature dropped by 5 degrees, which makes me uncomfortable. That was 2 Oscars, not the Jacks. The Jacks were just scared by the noise. Okay, so until next time, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Keep on watching. Keep on making videos here. I can't wait to see what the Oscars look like in the 265 upstairs, because that's what I actually bought it for. I bought it for Oscars. But back then I still thought you were supposed to feed them goldfish, and there were none available in this town I live in. So I didn't want to have to constantly drive for 2 hours just to get food for the Oscars. And luckily I did not, because now I realize that goldfish are actually very bad for your Oscars to eat. So there's some kind of chemical in the goldfish system that affects the Oscars. So now I got them on a combination of dried food, cichlid pellets, and also I treat them intermittently with cut up shrimp. And I want to try some other frozen foods like that, some tilapia and maybe some mussels occasionally or something. But for now, I'm good with the shrimp and the cichlid pellets. So until next time, you guys have fun, and I can't wait to see you again.